If somebody come and ask you, now you follow the Buddha, can you tell me actually who the Buddha is? But I don't think you can give correct answer. You say something. This self-introduction given by the Buddha is very meaningful. We can understand why he is called enlightened one.
One day along the road to the city of Siddhavya, the Brahmin Dona met the Buddha. From his footprints, he knew this is not an ordinary man, and so he walked up to the Buddha and asked him thus: Are you a Deva? Are you a Gandhava? Are you a Yaka? Are you a Manusa? Are you a Deva? Are you a Gandhava? Are you a Yaka? Are you a Manusa? Then the Buddha said, Abhinaya, Abhinyata, Bhaveta Vancha Bhavita, Pahata Bang Pahinang Me, Tasma Buddhosmi Brahmana.
We can understand why he is called enlightened one. He said in his own language, Abhinyayang Abhinyatam Bhavetabbancha Bhavitam Pahatabbang Pahinang Me Tasma Buddhosmi Brahmana.
One day along the road to the city of Siddhavya, the Brahmin Dona met the Buddha. From his footprints, he knew this is not an ordinary man, and so he walked up to the Buddha and asked him thus: Are you a Deva? Are you a Gandhava? Are you a Yaka? Are you a Manusa? Are you a Deva? Are you a Gandhava? Are you a Yaka? Are you a Manusa?
Buddhos and Brahmanas. Therefore, I am not a god, not an angel, not an ordinary man. I am the Buddha. This is the meaning of the Buddha or enlightenment. Buddha is not his name. Buddhi in Sanskrit, Pali languages means wisdom. Buddhi. Buddha means person who got that supreme enlightenment. That person is called the Buddha. So you can understand how difficult it is for a person to develop his mind to know everything that which exists in this universe.
Namo Buddhaya Bhante. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, good morning to everyone. Nice to see you again on another Sunday over SJPA Facebook Live. In order to have clarity of audio and visual, please check your Wi-Fi reception. If you encounter problem with poor audio and visual, it may be due to poor Wi-Fi reception. You may want to switch off your Wi-Fi device off and on and refresh your computer. During the Buddha Puja service, remember to have a calm mind. To those who have just joined us, welcome to SJPA 20th Online Sunday Buddha Puja service. We organize this weekly online Buddha Puja service in order to give an opportunity to Buddhist devotees near and far to continue with our Buddhist faith and practices during this COVID-19 period. You may share this weekly Facebook event with your families and friends. Let us prepare ourselves by sitting comfortably, relax our bodies, and compose our mind. Let go of thinking about the past and the future and be in the present moment. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, let us begin our Sunday Buddha Puja service. With respect, may we invite Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to make the offerings to the Buddha. To the devotees, you may also light your candles and oil lamp. For the other devotees, please place your palms together in Anjali position. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, let us pay homage to the Triple Gem. Buddhang pujami, Dhammang pujami, Sanghang pujami. brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, together let us invite Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to administer to us the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts. Aham bante sangsara vata dukkatu mochanataya tisaranena saha pancha silang dhammang yacchami anukahang katva silang deta me bante. Dutiyampi ahang bante sangsara vata dukkatu mochanataya tisaranena saha pancha silang dhammang yacchami anukahang katva silang deta me bante. Tatiyampi ahang bante sangsara vata dukkatu mochanataya tisaranena saha pancha silang dhammang yacchami anukahang katva silang deta me bante.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani Sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Kamesu miccāchāra Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Kamesu miccāchāra Sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Surameraya Majjapama Dattana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Surameraya Majjapama Dattana Veramani Sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Imani panca sikkhapadani samadhiyami.
Imani panca sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani panca sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani panca sikkhapadani samadhiyami.
Appamadena sampadeta.
Amabante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Buddhanusati, recollection of the Buddha. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijacharana sampanno sugato lokavido anottaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Sat Tadeva Manosanang Buddham Bhagavati. Dhammanusati, recollection of the Dhamma. Soakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko akaliko ehipasiko opanayiko pachatang veditabo vinyohiti. Sanghanusati, recollection of the Sangha. Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sankho Ujupatipanno bhagavato savaka sankho Nyayapatipanno bhagavato savaka sankho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sankho Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pogala Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sankho Ahoneyo, Pahoneyo, Dakineyo, Anjali Karaniyo, Anotarang Punyaketang Lokasati. Chetya Vandana, salutation to the holy shrine. Vandami Chetiyang Sabang Sabbatani Supatititang Sari Rikadatu Mahaboding Buddha Rupang Sakalang Sada. Bodhi Vandana, salutation to the Bodhi tree. Yasamole Nisinovam Sabari Vijayang Akan Pato Sabbanyutang Satang Vande Tang Bodhipadapang. Ime ete mahabodhi lokanatena pujita ahang pite namasami bodharaja namatute. Padipa Puja, offering of like. Gana sarap paditena dipena tamadansina dilokadi pang sambodang ojayami tamonodang. Dhupa Puja, offering of incense. Ganda sambarayutena dupenahang sugandina pujaye pujaniyantang puja bhajanamotamang. Pupa Puja, offering of flowers. Vanaganda gunopetang etang kusuma santati pujayami munindasam sripada saroruhe pujemi buddhang kusumena nenam Punyena metena cha hotu mokang Upang milaya tiyata idang me Kayo tataya divinasa bhavang. Paniya Puja, offering of water. Adivasetu no bante paniyang parikapitang anukampang upadayang patigan hatumutamang. Asking for forgiveness. Kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya gatang acayang kamame bante boripanya tathagata. Kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya gatang acayang kamame dhamma Sandetika akalika Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang Ajayang kamame sangha supatipanna anodara Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu
Namo Buddhaya. This morning, we are very pleased to have Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to be with us for this Sunday Buddha Puja. Venerable Dr. Dhammapala will be giving a Dhamma talk in both English and Mandarin on the topic Dhamma protectors, Devas, Yakas. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, if you have any question on the topic, please type your questions in the comment section. We shall read the questions immediately after the Dhamma talk. However, in case of time overrun, we might not be able to answer all your questions, and we ask for your apology. I think almost every one of us know Venerable Dr. Dhammapala. For those who are new to him, please allow me to introduce Venerable Dhammapala. Venerable Dr. Dhammapala was born in Kuching in 1970. He was ordained as Upasampada Bhikkhu in Wat Chong Kedah in 1994 by the Most Venerable Chaukun Praraj Dhammatara, who was the chief Samis Sanganayaga in Malaysia. Subsequently, he sought spiritual dependence under the guidance of Venerable Dhammasakaro Mahathero. He spent 15 years studying Buddhist philosophy, Pali, and Sanskrit literatures in Sri Lanka and in Hong Kong. In 2009, Venerable Dr. Dhammapala obtained his doctorate of philosophy in Buddhist studies under the supervision of Professor Venerable K.L. Dhamajoti in the University of Hong Kong. After his graduation, he was appointed as chief editor and spiritual director for the Buddhist Store website, one of the oldest and largest Buddhist websites in the world. In 2010 to 2013, he was a visiting assistant professor at the Center of Buddhist Studies, the University of Hong Kong. He traveled frequently conducting meditation retreats, Dhamma talks, and teachings of the Dhamma in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and China. Venerable Dr. Dhammapala is currently the abbot of the Brahma Vihara Monastery and Retreat Center. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, with deep respect, we now invite Venerable Dr. Dhammapala to begin the Dhamma talk, Dhamma protectors, Devas, Yakas. Bhante.
Okay, thank you. Namo Buddhaya. This morning, sharing for today's is Dhamma protectors, Devas, Yakas. 那今天早上呢，要给大家讲的这个题目呢是佛教护法神天神夜叉So to begin with, what is Yaka, or the Sanskrit is Yaksha? And the Yakshas, as you know, they are not ghosts. They are half humans and half God, semi-human or semi-gods. They are both. They are created palace, and which is anywhere in the air, in trees, or etc. And these are mostly suspended in the air, and we call it in Pali, we call akasatta. And some of them, like the abode of Alawaka, and also another one, the Yaka, they also stay on the ground. We call them Bhummatta. And some of the tree ghosts who lived in the mountains and trees. The worship of trees and the spirits inhabiting them is one of the most primitive forms of religion. And the yakas are of different grades. The highest among them approximate very nearly to the devas and have deva powers. The lowest resembles pretas, or the hungry ghost. And some deities are having great merit and great power, and they can transfer themselves at will to any place with the abodes and work miracles, such as assuming any shape at will. For example, the first heaven of the realms of desire are ruled by Vaisavana, or the Sanskrit is called Vaisranana, while the four great heavenly kings, Chatu Maharajika Deva. Since the Yaksha is a being who lived in the wholesome realm, if he has the opportunity to hear the Dhamma, he can still realize the path and fruition, like the king Bimbisara, who was reborn as a Yaksha in the retinue of Vasavana. 那我们来看夜叉Yak， 那梵文呢叫做 Yaksha。那夜叉呢，除了我们说鬼之外那夜叉呢也是经常出现在这个佛教的经典那夜叉呢，它不属于鬼类它是属于呢半人就是半神的这种善趣众生呢。他们的住所呢是他们自己所创造的这个宫殿就是住所。它在空中也许在这个树木或者任何地方呢都可以。那有些呢是地居天那什么是地居天呢？就是住在这个四大天王和忉利天的这个天神，就是33天的天神。那有些呢是住在这个空居天就是住在空中的。那他们住在这个欲界的这个夜摩天或者是斗率天等等的。那么这些夜叉呢，有些呢是非常有大福德、大神力，还有这些大威势的这些天神比如说欲界的第一重天四大天王其中一个天王叫做多闻天王他来统治。那由于呢这个夜叉呢，他是善趣的有情众生如果他有机会呢听闻佛法的话呢，他们还是可以依然证悟这个圣道果的。Then we look at the various types of yakshas. According to the Buddhist discourse, yaksha can pretend to be human. When they become human, their eyes are red, and they neither wink nor cast a shadow. Some are very cruel, can harm human, and love to eat human flesh. So, in the suttas, it is said that the female yaksha, or we call it yakshini, are most fearful and evil-minded than the male. They eat flesh and blood, and eaten even men who enter into their territories, such as forests, caves, etc., or corpses. They eat babies, and they are full of ill will or resentment. And they also can transform into beautiful women with magical power to lure those who do not guard their eyes faculties. And in some places, it says that for travelers who lost their way in the forest and those who are rushing at night, if they see another village in the middle of the night and see the bustling village, please be careful. They may encounter Yaksha village, especially lure passerby who come to stay to eat them. 根据这个经典的这个描述那月叉呢能够伪装成人类。当他们呢变成人类时呢，他们的双眼通红，那没有银质他们也不会眨眼那有些呢非常的这个残暴那他们能够呢伤害人类他们也爱吃这个人肉。那在经典里呢有记载这个母夜叉就是我们讲的 Yakini 他们爱吃这个婴儿肉或呢他们闯入他们的领域比如说森林煽动宫殿的，把这些人呢给吃掉他们呢也可以呢以神通变化成这个美若天仙的这个女人来引诱那些不守护根门不护戒的男人吃掉。那当然经典也有记载说在一些人呢在森林迷路这些旅人或者是他们这些赶夜路的人呢，如果在半夜呢他们看到一个非常繁忙的这个村庄那就要特别小心了，因为他们可能呢遇到了月叉村专门的诱惑来到这些留宿的这些路人给他们给吃掉。Now we look at Yaksha have both good and evil. Like humans, Yakshas, of course, have good and bad or evil Yakshas. And the good Yakshas, those are good ones. They are the guardians of Buddhism or the disciples of the Buddhas who have been taking refuge in the Triple Gem. And even some Yakshas are already saints who lived in the times of the Buddhas, like our Alawaka Yakka, who were subdued by the Buddhas. And after hearing the Buddha's teaching, he realized the first fruition, Sotapanna. So in addition, the great supporters like King Bimbisara, who was also reborn as a powerful Yakshas, and he has supernatural power. 那我们来看这个夜叉有善跟有恶的这个夜叉了。那以这个人类一样夜叉呢，当然也有这些善跟恶的这个夜叉。那善良的这个夜叉呢是我们讲的这个佛教的护法神，或者是呢已经归三宝的这个佛弟子乃至有的夜叉呢已经是圣者了。那就好比这个佛陀时代呢我们有非常火爆自大的这个很坏的这个夜叉呢，阿拉瓦克雅克，那因为被佛陀善巧调伏所以呢在听闻佛法之后呢而证悟了出果就是Sotapanna。那当然也有一些比如说佛陀时代的大护法，这毗婆沙罗王 Bimbisara， 那这位呢他们也入流了就是入了这个出果圣者死后呢投身在一个巨大威力或者有这个什么大神通的这个夜叉。Okay, now we look at the Atanatiya Suttas. It's from the Digha Nikaya, a long discoursed Suttas 159. The Buddha taught us to abstain from killing, to abstain from taking what is not given, to abstain from sexual misconduct, abstain from lying, and to abstain from taking intoxicants, drinks, alcohol, etc. But most yakshas, they often violate this conduct. They are not following this conduct, and they do not like the Buddhas and to hear the Dhammas. And some of the Buddha's disciples lived and practiced in the seclusion, like mountains, caves, and forests. And there were many evil yakshas who do not believe in the Dhamma. So therefore, it was often heard that the Vasavana king, one of the four great celestial kings, was worried that the evil yakshas would harm the disciples of the Buddhas. So he went to the Buddhas and asked the Buddhas to allow his disciples to be protected by chanting the names of the Yaksha kings as protection, to protect the disciples of the Buddhas, from harms and dangers. And because of this reason, Atanatiya suttas become one of the Parita suttas in Theravada Buddhism. 我们佛陀教导我们要守五戒什么五戒呢？就是我们要远离杀生远离不宜取，就是偷盗远离邪淫那远离妄语，还有远离这些酒类之类的但大多数的夜叉呢，因为他们都经常的违反这些的恶行，所以呢，他们不喜欢佛陀还有听闻佛法。那有些佛弟子我们说他们隐居在山林里面，或者是山洞，或者是偏远的郊区修行，而那里呢，也有很多这些不信佛法的夜叉呢住在那里。所以呢，我们说这个多闻天王就是四大天王之一多闻天王呢，他非常的担心有这些坏的恶劣的这些夜叉呢会来伤害到这些佛陀的弟子所以呢，就到了佛陀的住处呢，请求佛陀允许弟子呢受持念诵这个夜叉的名字来做这个护卫，以保护呢佛陀的弟子呢不受伤害。那与这个原因的形成的，现在在南传佛教有一部非常重要的这个经文呢这个巴利的护卫经叫做阿达那提亚 Suttas。In these suttas, it is used as an exorcism of restoring health and gaining happiness. And Atanatiya Suttas that we recited usually is a very shorter one. And the full version is usually not encouraged to be recited. And of course, this recitation, the suttas, has to be chanted by virtuous and experienced monks. Because this protection suttas has a powerful expelling effect. And the expelled yakshas must leave the place. If yaksha does not leave, his head will be broken into 7 pieces by the protected god. And it will also cause the yaksha to be rejected and despised by other yaksha's tribe. Indirectly, we are making a bad relationship, with the yakshas. If the other party is a very powerful yakshas, then it is a very risky thing. If the yaksha loses its role as a guardian, the consequences will be disastrous. 那我们来看这部经典这个阿达那提耶 Sutta 这部经典呢记载在这个长部就是那一般上呢作为这个驱魔这部经典驱魔或者是恢复健康或者安乐的这个用途。不过呢一般上呢在这个南传课诵本呢这个阿达那提耶经呢都是一些省略版的那而完整的这个经文呢通常呢不被鼓励念诵。如果在逼不得已的情况之下呢非诵不可呢一般也需要有一些具足德行或者是有经验的出家众来带领念诵而且要有正知正见。因为呢这部经文呢有非常的这个驱逐的作用所以被驱逐的夜叉呢必须要依循就是该族类所定下的这个律法离开那个地方。如果他们不离开的话呢，他们的头呢将被这个护法神敲破，就是砍破7块，而且会导致呢夜叉会被其他的夜叉族排斥或者是瞧不起。所以无形中呢我们不处理妥当呢我们就会呢以一个众生呢结下恶缘。那再说对方倘若对方又是一个非常有神力的这个夜叉呢，那这也是非常冒险的事万一呢失去了护卫作用的话呢，后果真的是不堪设想。Therefore, the best way is to cultivate loving kindness, metta bhavana, or to recite the Karanya Metta Suttas, or to radiate loving kindness to all sentient beings, whether they are visible or not visible, neutral or hostile, in order to resolve violence, hostility, and anger. And in Dhammapala, verse 5, there is a passage, the verse like this: Nahi verena verani, samantida kudachanang. averena cha sammanti esa dhammo sanantano. The meaning is, the hatred is indeed never appeased by hatred in this world. It is appeased only by loving kindness, and this is an ancient law. So in contrast, people may think that the yaksha is more terrifying than ghost, but a person who has no self-control, no percept, bad percept, or clinging to right view and wrong views, or indulging, they are more terrifying than the yaksha. And the yaksha does not simply eat people at will. Some yakshas fear the virtuous people, knowing that if they hurt those virtuous people, that will bring evil results to them. So besides, there is no need to worry about the yaksha eating human flesh, because there are still many Dhamma protectors in this world, and the evil yaksha will not be unscrupulous or will not be so immoral. However, this will not be the case in the future. We human beings are to be blamed and responsible for our evil deeds, such as greed, hatred, delusion, for destroying our world. 那么佛陀教导我们在我们的这个修持上呢，我们要多培育这个慈爱或者诵念这个慈爱经应作慈心经或以这个慈心来扩展给所有的众生。那这些众生包括有形的或者是无形的，看见的或看不见的或中立或敌对的那来化解这个仇恨敌意愤怒所以呢这个是最佳的这个途径那怨恨呢却是我们来看这个在这个法句经里面那有一段这个经文是这样子讲的中文的翻译就是怨恨呢确实不能平息怨恨用无怨恨来平息这个无怨恨就是慈悲这才是恒古的法则。那相比之下呢我们人可能比鬼更加的恐怖，因为一个人假如没有自制，或者是没有戒，或者是他戒是坏的或者是持有这些邪见的人，或者是这些很放纵的人那这些人呢比夜叉呢更加的恐怖。还有那夜叉呢也不会随意吃人那一些夜叉呢他敬畏有道德有戒德的人知道万一呢伤害了这些有戒德的人呢会招来这个恶果那再来呢对于夜叉吃人的这个问题呢我们也不用太担心，因为这世间依然还有很多的护法神在守护着所以呢这些恶的夜叉呢不至于在搞破坏不过在未来呢可能就不是这个样了，因为很多由于我们人类破坏的这些由于这些贪嗔痴破坏的这些社会呢这些地球呢是我们自己人类呢自己呢悠游自取的我们来看一下这个 Oposatha 这个斋戒业sorry so Oposatthas and proximate these Oposatthas the 8th or 15th of 23rd and the last day of the end of the lunar calendar. So there are 4 days for each lunar calendar days so on the 8th, 15th, 23rd and the last day. And the sutta says that the 4 heavenly kings will send their subordinates or personally come down to inspect people's virtues and see if people do good deeds or not, or keeping the precepts or not, or doing good deeds, 10 good deeds or not, or are they filial piety to their parents, respecting the elders, or respecting the treasurers, or respecting the sanghas, etc., etc. And then they will report to the king Sakadeva, who is the great king of the 33 tower teams of heaven, about the human's situation when the gods meets together. If there are still good practice in the world, and there are still good people living a holy life, the God will be very happy. because in the future, there will still be people reincarnated in the heavens. So the number of ghosts will be more than the Asuras. We all know that the Asuras, so they like to fight with the heaven. So they will not be afraid of Asuras. So the guardians of the Dhammas will also continue to guard the world from the evil Yakshas' interference and ensures that the rain always fall at the right time and the world is still smooth. 我们来看每一个月都有4个这个斋戒夜就是我们讲的布萨日 Uposatha。那么在每个我们说阳历的这个不是农历的的初8 15 23还有每一个月底的最后一天。那在经典记载呢，4大天王会派他的属下或呢亲自下来人间巡行视察人间的这个德行。那么看看人们有没有布施行善有没有持戒有没有行这个十善业有没有孝顺父母，有没有尊敬师长，有没有恭敬三宝，那有没有对出家人恭敬等等。然后呢他们就会在诸天神忌讳的时候呢，向33天的第4天地，就是我们讲的第4天这个天神呢，这个天地呢Sakadeva 呢报告关于人间的情况。那如果人间呢依然有善行呢，依然有这个善人在过着圣洁的生活的时候呢，诸天神也会感到非常的欢喜，因为将来呢会有这些人投身在这个天界。那这样的话呢，天界的数量呢会多过这些阿修罗不会被这个阿修罗所欺负我们也知道这个阿修罗呢经常在天界呢就是搞破坏的，欺负这些天神。所以一旦呢这个天人多了这些阿修罗呢就不管乱来了。那么呢这些护法神呢也会继续守护这世间，也不让这个夜叉来干扰并确保适时降雨，那世间呢依然是风调雨顺。However, the current situation does not know how long it will last. Especially, we are talking about the people's now, morality is deteriorating, and the climate of the, of the world also changed. And it is said in the Anguttara Nikaya, okay, involved in the suttas called Adhamika suttas, or unprincipled. And there is a passage like this, okay, I will read it. We can also read together. At the time when kings are unrighteous, okay, unprincipled, unrighteous, the royal officials become unrighteous too. So when royal officials are unrighteous, the Brahmins and householders also become unrighteous. When Brahmins and householders are unrighteous, the people of town and country also become unrighteous. When the people of town and countries are unrighteous, the courses of the moon and sun also become erratic, etc. The course of the star and constellation also become erratic, and the day and night also become erratic, and the months and the fortnight also change. The seasons and years also become erratic, and the blowing of the winds becomes erratic and chaotic. As a result, what will happen? The deities are angry. The heavens don't provide enough rain. The crops ripen erratically. So when people eat crops that have ripened erratically, they become short-lived, ugly, weak, and sickly. So it can be seen that the people's behavior, the morality, is closely related to the climate, and we can predict from the change of climate to evaluate the world. And we are not far from this situation, and more people in this world are greedy and stingy. Bad precepts, they are not observing any precept at all, and they do evil deeds. and they are no longer showing filial piety to the parents, and they are no more respecting their teachers, elders. You see, they are not respecting the true jurors, and etc., holding a wrong views, etc. So at that time, fewer and fewer people will be reincarnated in the heavens, and more beings will be reborn in the asuras, ghosts, animals, and hell. The God will no longer be willing to guard the world. People in the future will have to face various natural disasters and man-made calamities like the droughts, the famines, or nowadays what we faced, the COVID-19 or the pandemic, or even the war. So at that time, it is said that the yaksha will be rampant, eating people. 我们讲到目前这种情况就是我们美好住的这个环境呢，也不知还能够维持多久尤其是现在我们讲到的人的人品呢每况愈下，那地球的气候呢转变呢也是众所周知的了所以我们看到的很多都在改变了那这预知未来呢也记载在这个真知部里面这部经叫做 Dhammika Sutta。 那这一部经呢，佛陀有向弟子们开始，他说我把这段经文读出来，他说无论在何时，当王者就是当国王的人，统治者呢在行这个非法，就是进行一些不道德的事情的时候呢，他的官员也跟着行这些非法的事件。那婆罗门在家中，城市村落的人们也一一的借着行非法。那这时呢，日月将运转失度，星序呢运行错序，昼月回转非正月半之月转替不正年距循环不正，风不恰当的时候吹，不平等的吹在不当的方向吹那么这些天神就会愤怒了天不正常的下雨了。那世间呢将出现这些我们讲的这个旱灾饥荒那也导致呢人人的这个寿命呢也变得短了容貌也变得丑恶，那身体多病那么身体很弱所以呢这个是佛陀讲的。所以我们现在的社会呢种种的问题呢，是因为我们这个世间那些做领导的人呢他们行不正，而导致呢整个社会呢出了问题了那这个社会出了问题，导致我们说的这些大自然也遭到破坏了。所以由此可见呢人们的品行呢与气候呢都是息息相关的我们也可以从气候的转变来评估这个世风而得预知。那么我们可以看到呢目前已经呢离开这种情况呢其实不是很远。那世间呢越来越多的人呢也很兼贪就是很兼贪吝啬，那他们不守戒那他们也行这个13业12业，那他们也不再孝顺父母也不再尊敬师长也对这个三宝不恭敬那么他也堕胎啦，或者是安乐死啦，或者是持有这些邪见等等。所以呢到那个时候呢，投身在这个天界的人呢数量呢就越来越少，而投身在这个阿修罗或者是鬼或者是畜生或者是地狱的众生就越来越多了。那这样的话呢，天神呢也不再乐于守护这个世间。那未来的人除了要面对这个旱灾饥荒瘟疫或者是战争等等种种的天灾人祸之外呢，还要遭遇呢这些夜叉到处横行的吃人的这种险恶。我指的这个夜叉是恶的夜叉，不是坏的因为有些好的夜叉还是佛教的护法神，指的这些是恶的夜叉呢，他们会到处呢去吃人所以呢 我们说这些都是我们人行恶法而自食其果的。So, in our traditional Chinese belief, it is common to sacrifice food to the immortals, from indoor ghosts to outdoor wandering ghosts, and then from small ghosts on the ground to great ghosts in the sky. You see, so no matter big or small, the ghost or gods, as long as they can bless us, they are still gods, good gods. So speaking of ghosts, on some special occasion, traditional Chinese householders will worship, the Sakadeva, or gods with reached, the sacrifice, for the wishes of peace, wealth, healthy and longevity. 那传统我们华人的这个信仰普遍呢都是拜祭这些鬼神啊。那么从这个户内的这个鬼神呢，到这个户外的野鬼，或者是从地上的这个小神呢，到天上的这些大神不管是大小的鬼神呢，只要是能够赐福的我们都说他们是好神啦。那提到神呢，有一些特别的日子呢，传统华人有一些家庭呢会以丰富的这些祭品来拜祭这些天公或者是天神，祈求得到平安富贵健康长寿等等的这些愿望。Then the Buddha says, if any wish can be realized through prayers, then there will not be so many people suffered in the world. So moreover, no matter what kind of food or even the most delicious food in the world, to offer, to worship, to provide, in the eyes of the gods, this food look like feasts. The heavenly food eaten by the gods is far more delicate and subtle than the food in the world. And the gods will not touch the food offered in the world by us. And there's no need for the human to provide any forms of entertainment. And the Brahma gods living in the Rupa Dhatu do not even need to eat. They just meditate or abide by jhanas. 佛陀说，如果能够通过祈求或者是祈祷呢，就能够实现任何愿望的话呢，那么世间呢不会有那么多人在受苦了。那么再说，无论是以怎么样的这些我们说锦衣玉食或者是被我们人间称为最上位的美食来拜祭供养在诸天神的这些眼里呢，这些美食看都像这个粪便一样那欲界的天神吃的这些食物呢，我们说天食呢，远比我们人间的这些食物呢更加精致微妙的许多了，所以根本不会去碰人间所祭拜的这些食物，也不需要呢人类给他们任何形式的这些娱乐为什么呢？因为世界呢这些诸天神呢，他们不需要进食，他们只是呢以更高级的禅悦为食，就是他们进入这个禅定所以禅定呢就是他们的食物了Then the problems comes, who will eat this food provided by us? Okay, so it is very interesting. So we Chinese like to offer, and who will eat that? So I think the answer is very straightforward. I think only you yourself will eat, or we call it the low-level ghost or inhabiting on the ground. Or earlier we have said that the blessed ghost, like Paradatu, Upajivina, there is another type of ghost. You see, they will eat it. Right? So, no matter how pious or sincere a person prays, if the people who practice evil not following, they will be quite naturally, far away, from the gods that he admired. So don't expect the gods he admired to come and bless him or help fulfilling his desire. If people can worship this God by doing good deeds, it will make them even more happy because the gods welcome everyone to be reborn in the heavens to be their friends. So, you see, they will be very happy protecting you if you are doing good because there will be more friends in their celestial world. And you look at the suttas in the Majjhima Nikaya, Balapandita suttas, there's a passage like this. There is no analogy that can describe the happiness of the heaven. The happiness of the wheel-turning monarch or the king who rules the world is less than 1 millionth of the happiness of the heaven. So you can imagine. 我们刚才讲到，就是说我们供养，我们就是拜祭这些天神的这些食品呢，到底是谁来吃啊？那其实答案很简单我想大家都知道，除了你还会有谁吃呢？当然，假如是说你还要包括其他人，那这些人可能还包括这些比较低级的这些地居神或者那天我们讲的这些有福报的这些鬼神。这些鬼神可能就指这个依他施活命鬼吃罢了。所以呢，我们说一个人在多么的虔诚恭敬跟祈求祈祷呢假如他还是在行善的话呢，其实他离开这些所谓的这些天神呢，离开他们很远了。那当然你也别期待这些天神会来保佑他了，或者是实现他所想要的这些愿望。若人们能够以善法行善法来供奉这些天公或者是这些天人呢反而会令他们更加的欢喜，因为呢这些诸天神呢非常欢迎这些行善的人投身在天界，可以呢去做他们的这个友伴就是这个朋友他们天人也是需要朋友Okay, so usually when there is this Anumodana is one of the 10 wholesome Dhamma, right? So before we read this verse, we look at the behind story about. So once after the Emperor Sakadeva asked the Buddhas called all the monks, to share the merits with the gods and the sentient being. And for thereon, it has become the customs of the Buddha's disciples, to invite all sentient beings, including the gods, to share with them after making merits. And the following is a merit-making verse, inviting the devas to rejoice. 那么有一次呢，就在这个第10天向佛陀请求后呢，佛陀呢就召集并告诫所有的这些比丘。就是说每当做完一件善事呢，就要以这些天神或者这些众生共享他们所做的这些功德。那从此以后呢，每当做了这功德，邀请所有的众生，包括天神在内一起分享，已经是变成我们佛弟子们的一种习俗。所以呢我们一起来念这个诸天的这个随喜文这段是这样的其实大家都可以念。Akasan tacha bhummatam devanaga mahidikam punyang tang anumoditwa chirang rakanto buddha sasanang 重复 desanang 然后 mang parang di Etawata cha amhehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva sabbe buddha sabbe satta anumodantum Sabba sang pati siddhiyam。这个大意呢，就大家可以看。A person who always practice good deeds and know how to share his merits with the gods. After doing good deeds, the God will protect him, help him, and support him with joys. So the places where gods often come to rejoice merits, that place will be full of light and auspicious, or have certain auspicious sign. And those low-level ghosts, who are not good and they don't understand rejoicing merit, usually they will avoid such, bright places, and they don't want to get close. 那一个呢，经常行善法的人就是说做完善业之后呢，又懂得把这个功德以这些天神或者是龙天护法，或者是大小的这护法神分享的人呢，一般都会有这些诸天神会很欢喜的来守护他，帮助他，护持他。那经常有天神来随喜功德的地方呢，我们说这个地方都是充满光明，还有这些一些良好的这些迹兆当然那些非善类的就是不懂随喜功德的这个低级的这些鬼神呢，他们会对这些充满光明的地方呢，都会避而远之的就是不想靠近所以呢，劝大家每一次做善事呢都随喜功德，那这些天神就会来护持我们，来保佑我们。Why gods come down in the midnight? 诸天神通常只在午夜时分下来人间见佛陀I think this one is very interesting. So it is said in the suttas that the god usually come down to see the Buddhas in the midnight, because during this time there are fewer people or less people, and the smell is not that strong, and the gods always like to listen to the Buddha's words in the standing postures. Why? Because they hope to leave the world as soon as possible after listening to the Dhamma. So once we understand this, then we will come to know that the so-called ghost, invited by people, to take possession of them, are not the supreme ghost. They are probably yaksha or the blessed ghost, or they are low deities inhabiting on the ground. Human body are full of bad smell, and that's why the human bodies they will use the worldly and the fragrant to cover their body bad smell. 那么在经典呢也有描述，就是天神通常呢他们只在这个午夜时分下来人间见佛陀，因为在这个时段呢人比较少还有就是呢这个臭味，就是人间的这个臭味没有这么浓烈那天神呢也总喜欢就是以站立的姿势来听闻佛陀讲法，这是为什么呢？因为他们希望呢听了法之后呢可以赶快离开这个人间。那假如是我们明白这一点的话呢，我们就可以知道就是我们民间所谓的这些神达或者是我们叫做夫姬就是我们说下童之类的请来这些附身的这个鬼神呢也并不是什么天神他们只不过就是一些比较低级的这些地居神或者是鬼而已因为我们讲我们人类的这个身体，其实在天然来的这个原理呢是非常恶臭的所以我们人会懂得用这些世间的香味来掩盖我们的身体的臭味。However, there are still few people in the world who possess a certain special fragrance in their body. Then in the Dhammapala verse 54, the scents of flowers cannot go against the wind, nor the scents of sandalwood, nor the rhododendron, or tagara, nor of jasmine. Only the reputation of good people can go against the wind. The reputation of the virtuous ones, saparisa, pervades all direction with the fragrance of his virtue. 所以呢，在这个法句经50世有讲到，就是花香不能逆风吹送，檀香多迦罗或茉莉呢，都是如此。而具足真理的人，他们的这个戒香可以逆风吹送，偏极四方。So in the Dhammapala 206, it is said that when the Buddha was critically ill before his death and suffered from this dysentery, the Sakadeva, the king of the Devas, took care of the Buddhas and brushed, or cleansed the sole of the Buddha's feet with both palms. Then the Buddha told the heavenly king, "For heaven, the smell of humans is as smelly as rotten meat. Live here now. I have many bhikkhus to take care of me." You know what the Sakadeva replied to the Buddhas? He said, "Oh, blessed one, I still can smell your aromatic fragrance." It means that the 戒香, the smell or the fragrance of the morality, the incense of morality, outside of 84,000 miles away. Therefore, I come to take care of you. Although the gods regards the world as the cesspool and avoid approaching the humans, however, it is because the virtuous fragrance can cover the odors of the human bodies. So the gods are willing to get close and guard the good people who have observed the good morality. So once you know these facts, you don't have to rely on any prayers or wear amulets, etc. The precept itself has a mighty power. So the protected ghosts always love to guard the good people. And the good people who lead a holy life not only bring themselves the present happiness and future happiness, but also guarding the benefits and happiness of the world. And we call they are the messenger of the world. So because of the existence of these good people, the world is still vibrant, and there are gods who continue to guard the world. 那在法句经206有没有这样的记载？就是当佛陀呢在这个临终前病危好像据说他是染上了这个痢疾那这帝释天王呢照顾佛陀，并以双掌就是以双掌来擦这个佛陀的脚底。那佛陀告诉天王，他说对天人而言呢，人类的这个气味呢，有如这个腐烂的肉类一样难受，请你离开这里吧。我有好多的弟子会照顾我那这个天王回答佛陀，他说：世尊，在8万4千里以外呢，我只嗅到你善意的芳香气味，就是佛陀的戒香，因此我前来照顾你。所以我们讲，虽然诸天神呢是人间就如这个粪坑一样避免与人类接近但是呢，也因为这个戒香呢能够掩盖我们人体的这些臭味，所以呢，诸天神呢，他只是乐于亲近和守护那些清净洁行的善人。所以其实呢，当我们明白了这一点之后呢，我们就再也不用依靠任何的祈求，或者是带什么佛牌之类的。戒本身就是有这种的这个保护作用虽然我们说佛教这些护法神呢，他总是爱守护这些有正直、忠诚有善良、仁慈、有戒德的人或者是过着圣洁的生活的善人不仅呢给自己带来现法和未来的幸福安乐，同时他们也自行这神圣的任务，那是什么呢？就是守护这世间的使者。就是因为有了这些善良的这些人存在呢，所以我们这个世界依然还是非常的有生机蓬勃，那还是有很多天神很乐于的守护这个世间。 So according, to the Buddhas, is careful observant of ethical precept is the foundation of all higher achievement in the spiritual life. So it says in Dhammajjhima Nikaya, Akankeya Suttas, it says, a monk with pure morality, when his relative or blood relative remember him with pure confidence, they can have great results and great merits. 所以佛陀说，一个真正遵守戒的规范，是在精神生活中呢，所有最高成就的这个基础了。所以呢，一个有戒行清净的出家人，当他的亲戚或者血亲们以尽信心意念他时呢，能使他们有大福报有大功德。OK， 所以我今天我的这个讲座呢，就到这里。
Sadhu. Thank you, Bante, for this very interesting Dhamma talk. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, now is the time for question and answers. Do you have any questions for Venerable Dr. Dhammapala? If you have any questions to pose to Venerable Dr. Dhammapala, you can key in your question in the comment section. Bante, from Bante's talk, looks like the yakas can be more scary, more terrifying than a ghost. We heard many people they wear amulet for protection against the ghosts. Are there any people wearing amulet to protect against yasa or yaka? And what is Bante's opinion on wearing amulet for protection against yakas or ghosts or other terrifying beings? Okay.
As we know, people wear the Thai amulets. They believe that the amulets can ward off the evil, or prevent the disasters, or to attract wealth or help people increase luck. And some people this is what the common people believe. They believe that because of the power of mantras, some says that it is or also because of the power of the Thai monk, or some say that it is also because of the ghost, the power of ghosts or deities. It means that, in Thai people, they also believe that the power of ghosts and deities mean, some Thai monks, they have adopted, many poor, lonely, wild ghosts. And they attach them, to amulets so that they can assist the wearer, the people who wear in some way. So that these ghosts can also accumulate, some good karma. This is what, their belief. And of course, there are also a wide variety of amulets or talisman or certain, mantra, incantation, etc. on the market. And all of them have a certain role in warding off the evil. But of course, we are talking about the effectiveness where gradually diminishes. Yeah. So, and for those people who often rely on the external forces, to assist their career or their popularities or the fortunes, yeah. So once they lost, this invisible external assistance, and they will become helpless and restless, and everything will become so chaotic. So that's why the Buddhas, taught his disciples not to rely on the outside, but to regard themselves as the island, to rely on themselves instead of others, and to take the Dhamma as the island, to rely on the Dhamma and not to rely on others. So once you understand this, then we have to, how to say, to train our mind, because our mind have this power. When I said the power, it means that the power of what? The power of virtues. You see, the power of good karma, the power of good compassion, and of course the power of insight and wisdom. They are what we call, if you want to use amulet, that is the best amulet for a person. If you have a good morality, good karma, doing good deeds, if you have a loving kindness and compassion, or you have insight, all these things can protect you. Don't rely on the amulet. Okay?
Yeah, thank you, Pante. There's one question here, Pante. Can Deva help human beings to attain enlightenment apart from material wealth? How do we know Deva are protecting us from harm and helping us to be rich?
Of course, I think two parts we have to say clearly. Definitely the devas, you see, can't help us to attain the enlightenment, for sure. You see, that we have to depend everything on our own, you see. But I think the devas that helps a human being, they help you and they rejoice if you are doing good deeds, observing a good morality, you see. So in that case, the devil will come, will help the good people. You see, so I think that we have to understand, yeah. And of course, in our chanting, we will invite and share and rejoice with the devas. So in that way, they will come and protect us. That's for sure. All right, that protection is kind of rejoice with us. They will come, and definitely they won't help us, to lead us, to the path to enlightenment. But of course, if we are doing good deeds, we will go to the heaven. You see, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Pante. There's one question from Brother Yap Bin Kiet. He asked whether communicating with departed loved ones through a medium, is it a fake?
I don't think so. Yeah, it depends how you look at it. As we have said, through the medium, that probably you are contacting with the low level, the what they call the yaksha, okay, or the what they call a certain ghost, certain ghost. So that could not be the fact. But of course, you have a certain periods of time. You cannot say that you're asking the medium, to help you through, right? So you have you have this certain ghost or the low level, the yaksha. You see, they have this ability, to help you to fulfilling your wish. So it is not a fact one. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Pante. And this question from Sister Melinda Chin. She asked, who are the guardian deities and Dhamma protectors?
Okay, so other than human beings, I think, like we have said the guardian deities, there could also be a yaksha, especially if you go to most of the Buddhist temples. You see, you find a lot of yakshas. You see that they protect the world, and of course, we are not talking about the devas, because the devas, you see, they don't like to come to the world. They don't like to approach the human because, they regard the human as a very smelly place, so they don't come down. So when you're talking about the Dhamma protector, that probably could be the yaksha, okay? Because these yakshas have certain power. They can protect the world, okay? And even the temple also, you find a lot of these yakshas, the images, or in some tradition also, they will use the yaksha as, to help fulfilling their wish and desire, okay?
Yeah. There's this question from Bliss Risa. May I ask, what's the name of the sutta that the Buddha taught to the devas? English or Chinese translation?
Name of the suttas. I don't really get it. Are you saying that the suttas that? Huh?
Like the Mangala Sutta, I believe. Is that a question? Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely it's not from my sutta. If you know the Mangala suttas, and then you know the story, the Buddhas, taught the devas, 38 blessing. 38 blessing. Okay, so
If you want to find the Chinese and the Chinese and the English, I think you can Google type the words Mangala Suttas. You can find it. Yeah, there are plenty.
And this question from Talia Stin Yi Ing. She asked, Yakshas are living around the temples. Are they good or evil? Is it okay if you have seen them?
Is it good for you? Is it?
I think so.
Yaksha living around the temple, are they good or are they good or evil?
Yes.
Yeah, we have said the Yaksha could be good and evil. The good one could be the Dhamma protector. The evil, they may harm us. You see, so yeah, you do find, the good Yakshas and the bad Yakshas as well. And of course, we have earlier seen that the Yakshas also inhabiting, not just in the human, you see, the good Yaksha also can live, in the heaven, And of course, there are also very bad Yakshas, that resemble to the predators, resemble to the hungry ghosts also. So it's a wide range of good and bad Yakshas.
So is it good to meet them, Pandey?
Good to meet them. They won't show their appearance to us, isn't it?
This question, Pandey. Can Pandey share any story of encounters with Yaksas by any forest monk?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. I think that one will not be included in our Q&A. I think, of course, for those monks who practice in the forest, they will share some of their encounter, their experience, meeting with the Yakshas. I think, yes, there are. I myself also experienced that, but we don't have time to talk in this Q&A.
Yeah, Pandey, I think there are many more questions, I guess. But I think we just have one more question, Pandey. Then we'll call it a day today. This question from Brother Yap Pen Kiet. He say, my friend husband just passed away. She is very attached to her late husband. If she commit suicide, will she meet her late husband in the other world?
Oh, I'm very sorry to know that. But I think these ones need to come personally and discuss, with the monks. I think we need advice to him. I think through this Q&A, we find it difficult to give an answer. I think that we have to, she has to come personally and to discuss and to talk to us. I think in that way is better. So I think may not be appropriate, in this Q&A. I think, is it okay for Brother Yap? Could you ask her to come and see us? I don't know. All right.
Yeah, Pandey, I think that's one very interesting question. Maybe we would like to ask Pandey to explain. One last question. Pandey, who or what are the Kantapa? In the intro video just now, Buddha was asked, are you a Deva? Are you a Yak? Are you a Kantapa? Or are you a Manusa? So what is a Kantapa?
Okay, I think we make it in our next lectures. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you, Pandey. We are very grateful and thankful to Venerable Dr. Dhammapala for his very interesting Dhamma talk this morning and for the very enlightening answers to our questions. Thank you so much, Pandey. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much, Venerable Dr. Dhammapala, for the Q&A session. It has been very interesting with the questions and the informative answers offered by Venerable Dhammapala. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, this morning we have participated in the Sunday Buddha Puja service, listening to Venerable Dhamma sharing with further understanding with the Q&A session on the Dhamma sharing. With the merits gained, let us invite Venerable Dhammapala to lead us in the dedication of merits to all sentient beings, family, relatives, and friends, and to all departed ones.
Patidana, transference of merits. Akasatta cha bummata devanaga mahidika punyang tang anumoditva chirara kantu loka sasanang chirara kantu desanang chirara kantu mang parang Etawata cha amhehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe devam sabbe satam sabbe bhutam anumodantu sabba sangpati siddhya. Patidana, transfers of merits to departed relative. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Imang no punya bagang mata pito nancha acharya nancha sapa sata nancha sapa mita nancha sapa nyati nancha sapa peta nancha sapa devata nancha bhajemam. Imang no punya bagang sapa satanang dema sabe sata sukita hontu. Imina punya kamena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu. Yavaning banapatiya. Idang me punyang asavakaya vahang hotu. Idang me punyang nigbanas pacayo hotu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much, Venerable Dr. Dhammapala, for being with us for this morning's Sunday Buddha Puja service and for a very interesting and informative Dhamma talk. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, before we end, let us pay homage to the triple gem. Buddhang pujemi, Dhammam pujemi, Sangham pujemi. Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, thank you very much for participating. We have come to the end of this 20th online Sunday Buddha Puja service. Please visit us again next Sunday morning to participate in the online Sunday Buddha Puja service. Remember to stay safe, stay home. May you be well, happy and peaceful always. Sabbe satta sukhita buntu.
Bahong sahan semabhinim mitesayudantang ngirimi kelang uditegora sasene marang dana di Dhamma vidina